Hello dear participants, I am Madhumita Sinha. We met in module 1 and today I am starting with you the second module on listening. Let us start with basics. How do we define listening? In brief, we can think of it as an ability to receive messages through our auditory senses. That means we hear. We try to understand and then we respond. Listening is considered to be one of the first of communication skills. Remember LSRW? Listening, speaking, reading, writing. Most of us develop our abilities to listen long before the other abilities of speaking, reading and writing. You all are aware that there can be no conversation without listening because speaking and listening are interdependent. Therefore, it is not an exaggeration to say that listening is the key for the process of communication. Let me ask you a question. Is there any difference between hearing and listening? I am sure all of you have answered in affirmative, as these two are different. We do hear and get the overall meaning most of the times when others speak, but we do not get active in listening as it involves conscious effort to make sense of what is being said or to interpret. The term interpret means we listen to the content and we also look for the speaker's intention and perspective or point of view. For interpretation, we also notice what is not said along with what is. Let me repeat it. Information, argument, perspective, all these become essential for advanced listening skill. The example could be listening to a presentation by a department colleague or a classroom lecture. For simple listening, we are listening for content. We are trying to understand and retain information. For example, your friend is talking to you about the new courses in the semester or about the new colleagues in the office. We try to keep as many details in mind as possible. So listening, which is a natural characteristic of human life, becomes a skill and an important element of success in academic and professional life if we work on it properly. Just like the other modules, here too, apart from the script of the lecture, you have the worksheets that have learning items and activities. You will need to download the worksheets and do the exercises so that you get enough practice. At the end of this module, you will be able to understand the importance of listening as a skill for language learning. You will manage to practice active listening. We will learn more of description and narration. These we started in module 1 on speaking. Here, it will be through listening passages. And you will learn about sequence markers or adverbs of time. Now you are going to listen to a monologue of a salesperson, Surya Kumar. Listen to him carefully first. After that, you go to worksheet 2.1 and answer the questions based on what you have just listened to.
Good morning friends, I am Surya Kumar, a sales executive at KK Publishers. I exclusively work with colleges and universities for the books and journals that we publish for higher education. Today, I wish to speak about our new launches. We have recently brought out visual and audio dictionaries which are app based and can be installed on either your mobile phones or on your computers. The visual dictionaries have animated pictures. They give several references and also have sections which has 20 themes like transportation, environment and agricultural products, etc. The audio dictionaries have words in audio format, meaning in a spoken form which are explained in simple English. There are synonyms, antonyms and also examples of usage of words in sentences. These will be useful for all learners of English, but we had particularly in mind friends who have difficulty with vision and hearing. They will find these dictionaries extremely suitable for their requirements. Please buy them as there will be a discount of 20% for individuals and 10% for institutions for a month. Please also spread a word about these wonderful products. Please check out the trial version with the access code provided and give us your valuable feedback. Thank you so much for your time.
This speech contains a self-introduction and a description. If you are not sure of your answers, please listen a second time and check your responses.
Good morning friends, I am Surya Kumar, a sales executive at KK Publishers. I exclusively work with colleges and universities for the books and journals that we publish for higher education. Today, I wish to speak about our new launches. We have recently brought out visual and audio dictionaries which are app based and can be installed on either your mobile phones or on your computers. The visual dictionaries have animated pictures. They give several references and also have sections which has 20 themes like transportation, environment and agricultural products, etc. The audio dictionaries have words in audio format, meaning in a spoken form which are explained in simple English. There are synonyms, antonyms and also examples of usage of words in sentences. These will be useful for all learners of English, but we had particularly in mind friends who have difficulty with vision and hearing. They will find these dictionaries extremely suitable for their requirements. Please buy them as there will be a discount of 20% for individuals and 10% for institutions for a month. Please also spread a word about these wonderful products. Please check out the trial version with the access code provided and give us your valuable feedback. Thank you so much for your time.
Could you compare your first listening with the second and note down the differences between the two? I'm sure you have noticed that your listening changes when you have to do exercises based on it. Didn't you become far more focused, conscious and careful for the second listening? Also, think about these questions after the exercise. What were the difficult parts in this listening practice for you? How will you be able to improve these? After you have completed the tasks based on listening 1, please go to worksheet 2 and check out points for effective listening. Do you remember the description of Hyderabad city that I did in module 1? Now, as the second activity, you are going to listen to a description of the city of Berlin. It is the German capital. But there is a change here.
Hello, I'd like to tell you something about my hometown Berlin, which is now the capital of Germany. Berlin used to be a divided city. After the Second World War, Germany was divided into East and West. East Berlin became the capital of the German Democratic Republic, while West Berlin remained an island within it. From 1961 onwards, the Berlin Wall separated East and West. The wall came down in 1989 and nobody wants it back. Today, Berlin is a multicultural city with a vibrant arts scene. Because of its history of separation, Berlin's citizens and visitors often have a double choice when it comes to universities, opera houses, philharmonic orchestras, and even the zoos, one of them located in the former eastern and the other in the former western part of the city. It is very easy to get around in Berlin by public transport. Just hop onto a bus, a tram, or the underground and explore another part of the city. Or better still, take a long walk in the many parks, along the canals and rivers, or stroll through the historic city center. Whether you come for the museums or for the all-night parties, Berlin has something in store for everybody. For me, it's the best place in Germany to live, perhaps even the best in Europe and beyond.
The person speaking is a foreigner, so there is a different accent that you will face. It may seem a bit difficult, but as you listen to Professor Claudia Lange a second or a third time, you will realize that your ears are getting used to her voice and her accent. So you will begin to make sense of what she is saying much better, maybe in your second attempt. The point is not to feel upset or frustrated, but to practice, try again and again.
Hello, I'd like to tell you something about my hometown Berlin, which is now the capital of Germany. Berlin used to be a divided city. After the Second World War, Germany was divided into East and West. East Berlin became the capital of the German Democratic Republic, while West Berlin remained an island within it. From 1961 onwards, the Berlin Wall separated East and West. The wall came down in 1989 and nobody wants it back. Today, Berlin is a multicultural city with a vibrant arts scene. Because of its history of separation, Berlin's citizens and visitors often have a double choice when it comes to universities, opera houses, philharmonic orchestras, and even the zoos, one of them located in the former eastern and the other in the former western part of the city. It is very easy to get around in Berlin by public transport. Just hop onto a bus, a tram, or the underground and explore another part of the city. Or better still, take a long walk in the many parks, along the canals and rivers, or stroll through the historic city center. Whether you come for the museums or for the all-night parties, Berlin has something in store for everybody. For me, it's the best place in Germany to live, perhaps even the best in Europe and beyond.
You can pick up 5-6 words which you think Claudia is pronouncing differently. This attention will make it easier for you to understand foreign accents. Though advertisements, films and TV series are making our jobs easier by the day. You will notice children are getting the meaning of cartoon shows in English even when they do not know the language very well. How does this get possible? Please go to worksheet 2. Do task 2.3 where a website is mentioned. You can find out the basic difference in accent patterns of English spoken in different parts of the world. In worksheet 2.3, there's another website mentioned which will take you to a video which provides you with difference between British and American accents. And you can observe the variation in vowel and consonant sounds.
Drain,
Drain,
spring,
spring,
berry,
berry.
Now you will do the third activity and listen to the description of Hyderabad from Module 1 once again. My favorite city is Hyderabad, the capital of Telangana state. The city was founded by Quli Qutub Shah and is more than 400 years old. This historical city was later ruled by Asaf Jahi dynasty and the rulers were known as Nizams. The Charminar is the most famous icon of the city. The other popular monuments are Golconda Fort, Salarjung Museum, the Buddha statue in the middle of Hussain Sagar Lake, Birla Temple, etc. This city of business and affluence still is a major commercial hub and has modernized with good means of transportation within and around the city. It is a big center for software and pharmaceutical industry and is also home to many educational and research centers. Hyderabadi biryani is famous in the country and so are Hyderabadi pearls. The blend of historical heritage and modern facilities makes it a very comfortable city to live in. I am very proud of my city. Please go to worksheet 2. Do task 2.4 and note down the differences between Hyderabad and Berlin as you remember them first. In case you require, listen to both descriptions once again, then do the exercises given there. Please carefully listen to the conversation about the lost bag now.
How was the class today?
It was really nice. We did a lot of things and it was more creative, but he gave a lot of work and I have to work on that.
I'm Hannah. I'm a second year MA student. I lost my bag since this morning. I left it in this classroom, I think. Did anyone of you see it?
You mean in classroom number 4?
Yeah, this classroom.
What type bag is it?
It was a black bag, not a backpack, a shoulder bag made of thick canvas. It has a long strap and there is a pocket in front of it which has my library card and my hostel room key. There is also a written message in front of it, reuse, recycle, reduce. There is also a couple of notebooks, pens and my water bottle.
Oh my, losing the key and library card is terrible.
Yeah, it's a headache when you lose the bag. I can't get into my room now or access the library until I get the bag back or make a new card.
Let me call up a few other classmates who left earlier. Maybe they took it and left at the reception.
Yeah, that's so nice of you. Thank you.
You will recognize that here a bag is being described, but there is also a narration about its loss. Therefore, this passage is a combination of description and narration. Please go to worksheet 2. Do task 2.5. Keep checking whether you are able to answer the questions comfortably. These are tests for your listening comprehension. An interesting question is, while talking to people in a formal or informal setting, how do you show that you are listening? In a face-to-face mode, it is the listener's facial expression, eye contact, gesture, verbal response that becomes important. Seeking clarification, making comment are all indicators of alert listening. When one is on phone, you would have noticed that after a silence, the speaker on the other end asks, "Are you there?" Whether face-to-face or on phone or online, conversations work when there is engagement, nodding, responding by saying, "Oh, really? Etc. Body language, verbal, non-verbal cues become important here. You can go to module 3 done by my colleague Shema Jose later. There you will be able to learn more on back channeling. Please try to understand the ways of showing involvement. Now you are ready to look at worksheet 2, task 2.6. to read the characteristics of a good listener as you have the experience of active listening yourself. The next exercise is based on a narration. You are going to listen to an incident being narrated. As it is an experiential narrative, you will notice that there is a specific location and action which takes place at a particular time. So, for life experiences or narrations, we enable the listeners or audience to imagine the setting and time. Mostly we deal with a single event or one episode. So now listen to this narrative and do notice the sequence markers. Good morning, Madhuri.
Morning, Supriya. How come you're here so early?
I had a 9 o'clock class and I also needed to finish the work Madam gave me yesterday. I'm so tired already. Also couldn't sleep till 2 at night. I have to tell you about my bizarre experience.
Oh, what happened? Were you feeling unwell?
No, had a very strange experience last night. All my family members went for a function in the neighborhood. I decided to stay back as I had to complete the departmental work that Madam had given me. But by 11:30 I was very tired and couldn't continue further, so I decided to go to sleep. I thought I could complete the work in the morning.
And then?
I barely had fallen asleep when I heard some strange sounds near the kitchen door.
Oh gosh.
It must have been after 12. First I decided to go to the kitchen and check, but when the sound started again, I got very scared.
Did you open the door?
Wait, I'm telling you. In the beginning it was the sound of something being dragged, and later it was the strange kind of animal sound. But you know, after a point I couldn't make out anything. Soon after, there were sounds of the kitchen door being scratched. I almost had a heart attack.
And then?
In a state of panic, I called up my mother and asked her to come immediately. I could barely speak. My mother, father, brother took only 15 minutes to reach, but it felt like 2 hours, I tell you. I opened the door only after confirming with them 3 times. Then my brother and father decided to quietly go to the backyard and check whether a thief was hiding there. They silently reached there and suddenly switched on the light. Ha! There was a family of dogs there. The mother with her new litter, some 5 small puppies. The mother was sitting on a tarpaulin sheet with all of them clinging on to her. The sheet she must have dragged from somewhere, which made all the noise. After reaching the garden, she came to sleep near the kitchen door to be on the dry steps under the ledge to protect her babies from the drizzle. And the puppies must have scratched the door.
Okay.
Now you don't start. My family has been laughing at me since night after realizing the whole situation. But this story does not end there. I will be the butt of joke for the entire neighborhood for many days to come.
Oh, for sure, yes.
Now go to worksheet 2, task 2.7 and do the exercises. In case you can't answer all the questions in the first instance, listen again and complete the exercise. Did the sequence markers make it easier for you to remember the details? Think, why does the second listening become easier? Is it the familiarity with the text or the awareness of the questions or both? I'm sure you have learned to listen carefully, and that will go a long way in improving your English in general and making you a better speaker. As I said earlier, effective listening is the key to good communication, and it can make you a good professional. It certainly can avoid many misunderstandings in everyday life. To end the module, let us do a fun activity. Now go to worksheet 2, learn 2.8 and check this website again.
Take a journey back in time in search of a mystery locked beneath the sea.
Watch the trailer of this movie. Try to do the exercise one last time for this module. Happy learning!